This time last year we were all gearing up for the launch of the next generation of Pokémon games, Pokémon X and Pokémon Y, and, in my opinion, they absolutely blew us all away with their amazing graphics and in particular their amazing new networking features, making online play the best it has ever been. Now the games have been out for 6 months and the hype from the previous games is slowly crawling to a halt, with people looking ahead to the next games we'll be getting hopefully within the next year. Will it be the much rumoured Pokémon Z, or the much fantasised Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire remakes? Nothing's known for certain, but what we can speculate on is what exactly we want in the next Pokémon games to make the games just a little bit more special. So, here is my list of the top 10 things we want in the next Pokémon games. Remember, this is completely opinion based, and your suggestions and discussion in the comments will be really appreciated. Let's jump straight in, shall we? Number 10. More customization and improvements to the player search system, or PSS for short. Online play has been the best it has ever been in Pokémon X and Y, easily being able to trade and battle with people all over the world. And these are the first games I have ever completed the National Dex in, and the first time I have ever been involved with competitive battling. However, there are many improvements that Game Freak could make to the system. For example, you can only have 3 vs 3 ranked and unranked singles battles in the battle spot, and if you're feeling lazy and want to have a 6 vs 6 random battle, you have to hassle random passerbys to battles until someone accepts. Simply allowing 6 vs 6 singles battles in the battle spot will be a welcome and amazing new feature and change to people who want more competitive battles. While we're at it, let's expand other new bottom screen features like Pokémon and Me, having more minigames that aren't as repetitive. Number 9. Remove any exploits and glitches from the games. Something I was really looking forward to in Pokémon X and Y was a completely fresh, brand new game free of glitches like cloning and generating a Pokémon. This would have made every Pokémon captured in the game legitimate and would have made every Pokémon just a little bit more valuable and closer to you. Instead, generating a Pokémon and cloning has been as rampant as ever, and while this might be an unpopular opinion, I would prefer it if Game Freak were to get rid of all possible avenues to take advantage of exploits. This is low down on my list as I genuinely don't mind competing against generated Pokémon online, as long as they're legal, but making the GTS and Wonder Trade a completely hack-free environment would be amazing for people who are trying to play 100% legitimately. Number 8. An additional peripheral like the Pokewalker. This is something that would get you and your Pokemon just that little bit more close. I seriously really enjoyed carrying around my Pokewalker and playing minigames with my Pokemon, earning levels and capturing Pokemon and obtaining items while I was out and about and reaping the benefits when I put everything back onto my game. Something personal like this once again would be amazing in my opinion, and while it isn't totally necessary, it's something that we've seen before and I would love to see again. Number 7. Allow Pokemon to follow you again. While on the topic of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the ability to have any Pokemon follow you around behind you would be absolutely amazing. It's something we've seen before, and with the game now using 3D models, this would be a lot easier for Game Freak to implement. Maybe have size restrictions so only Pokemon below a certain height can follow you, so it wouldn't ruin the overworld. Add in place any kind of restrictions you like, but we've saw you do it before and we as customers would adore you allowing us to have our prized Pokemon follow us around once again. Number 6. Multiple save files. This is something that a lot of people have been screaming out for since the early days, and while it may not be the most practical thing for Game Freak to implement, especially with the reliance on Pokemon Bank, it would be something that would be so useful to people with siblings who don't want to lose their save file. I understand that this would require Game Freak not to earn as much profit as people wouldn't get as many copies, but it's just something that would be nice. Number 5. An additional aftergame. Now we're truly onto the things we want. Pokémon X and Y's aftergame revolved totally around the competitive battling aspect of Pokémon, introducing the Battle Maison and the Friend Safari, enabling us to be able to capture Pokémon with high IVs and obtain competitive battle-orientated items with relative ease. However, something a lot of people miss is a huge in-depth aftergame segment like the ones we saw in Pokémon Black 2 and White 2, or as an even better example, Pokémon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'm not asking for us to be able to visit every single region ever invented, but more Pokemon to capture, more towns, and perhaps more legendary Pokemon and experiences we can see instead of having the aftergame just as a rushed afterthought would be amazing. While not required, this would be amazing if Game Freak were to focus on giving us more original content for our money. Number 4. Street Pass integration with secret bases. Street Pass's integration in Pokémon X and Y seemed rather lazy, as we would only receive a very small amount of Pokémiles for each Street Pass hit we received, an amount that is very easily surpassable with one single Wonder Trade with someone in a foreign country. However, there is so much untouched potential with Street Pass, and with Ruby and Sapphire remakes being discussed by the Pokémon community, the idea of integrating secret bases into the games would be incredible, similar to Animal Crossing's Happy Home Showcase, enabling us to visit the bases other like-minded Pokémon players have created, and even potentially battling their party for more experience. Having a load of customization would be amazing, and in the 3D world would be even better. Number 3. More Mega Evolutions. Last week I made a video detailing the top 10 Mega Evolutions I would like to see, so if you're interested in that, a link will be in the description and on screen now. This is something that was introduced in Pokémon X and Pokémon Y, and I believe that we haven't even scratched the surface of incredible designs we may not have seen. We know 2 more Pokémon are definitely receiving a Mega Evolution, however, there's so much room for more Pokémon to Mega Evolve, and I would definitely love to see this happen in the future. Maybe even begin with Zygarde in Pokémon Z. Number 2. More freedom, less on rails. Everyone on the internet has stated their desire to be able to play as the bad guys in Pokémon, being able to say yes to joining Team Rocket on the Nugget Bridge, to joining Team Flare for 5 million Pokédollars. While that would be amazing, I'm not even talking about that. What I really enjoyed about Pokémon X and Y was the spectacle, exploring a brand new world full of Pokémon. And the only problem was that I was limited by how far I could go before I reached the part of the story I must complete before advancing. Maybe make it so we can take on gyms in a less specific order. Maybe make it so routes are a lot bigger. Either way, more exploration would be absolutely amazing in my opinion. Number 1. Downloadable content. Downloadable content is something that Game Freak has said they are straying away from, which is heartbreaking for me as a lot of these features will be able to be included later on in the game's life cycle if they so chose to. This doesn't need to be DLC in the way of clothing for our character that we must purchase, or even a pay to win element in the way of having to pay to unlock new events for Pokemon. The vast new worlds that we've yet to explore on the market would be incredible, new features and heck, even new Pokemon. There's so much Game Freak could do if they wanted to with downloadable content, and we've saw them use downloadable updates to patch issues with the games, like patching up the game's inscription on online services and patching game breaking problems in Lumio City, so we know that they can use this functionality, they just haven't decided to use it properly yet. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you agree with all the points I've made. Feel free to discuss in the comments if you didn't. You blew me away with your support last week, so if this video gets 200 likes, I will try my best to have at least 2 top 10 videos out this upcoming week for you guys. Feel free to subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you guys then. Peace out!